I hope that today you have come here wanting to learn how you can earn more money here at Park Lane. Is that a topic that interests you? Would you like to be earning more money here? Because
Yes.
our comp plan is so robust that there's always another way to earn more money. Now, of course, there are two obvious ways that you can earn more money. One is super obvious and one is less obvious. The one way that you can earn more money is, shout it out.
Have more shows.
Yes, sell more, right? Sell more.
Okay.
If you sell more, you make more money. So you book more shows, you do more lives, you take more orders. That's one way to make more money. The second way that you can make more money is, of course, to have a team of people that are selling that you get paid on. That's the one that will actually bring you the exponential growth. That's the one that is going to really give you an unlimited income, and the one that's going to last you the longest and take you straight into retirement. Because the problem with just deciding I'll sell more. Now, I have no problem with anyone selling more because you meet more people, especially if you're in a building phase, right? Where you're wanting to meet more people. And never anything wrong with saying, you know what, I have some bills upcoming, or Christmas is on the way, or a lot of my kids' birthdays are coming up. I'm going to book a couple of extra shows. I'm always down for that. That is wonderful. But if that's the only means that you are using in order to get a paycheck on Fridays, that's the same as having a job, right? It's a more flexible job, but it's essentially the same because all the onus of earning that money is on you. So you're 100% trading time for money. The time you're doing the show is the amount of time that you're going to get paid. Of course, that includes your host coaching or the time that you spend on the lives in your VIP group. Whereas when you build a team, it's unlimited, right? Because on a Friday night or a Monday night or a Wednesday night, even with a multi-hostess, I can only meet so many people, right? We can only do so many shows in one night. With online shows, yeah, you can do, maybe 3 hostesses at a time or things like that. But you can't meet an unlimited number of people the way that you can when you have a team who's out there selling. So that on a Wednesday night, you're doing a show, 5 people under you are doing a show, 10 people under you are doing a show, 500 people under you are doing a show. All of this is possible as long as you choose to build. So that is really where that multiple streams of income comes in, where that entire, that secondary income that can eventually be bigger than your primary income is building that team, where you look at your check and you're like, wow, my overrides are getting close to my personal sales. Then it's my personal sales check. Then it's, it's more. Then it's, it's a lot more. And then, you adjust your daily behaviors accordingly. But that's really what we want to talk about here is how can you really build up your paycheck here at Park Lane by sharing the business and building a team. So I'm going to do a screen share for a moment so that we can take a look at how you're going to do that and what kind of money it means for you. So when we go to the field interface, under the download section, you will see, and I shared this in our group last night, there's a brand new Sharing the Opportunity booklet. This is one of a couple of different places that you can find a comp plan. But because this is a new brochure, we're going to use this one today. So this is a brochure that you can use to conduct an interview with a potential team member. It's something that you could send, you can save to your computer. And then when someone says, do you have something that I can read? Do you have a brochure you can send me? You can use this. You can even use this to send to somebody to then have an interview so that they have some material in front of them. So, and the reason I say that is because you can ask questions like, you know, of the under this have it all, you know, you can have independence and then show what's here. Growth, rewards, which of these sound the best to you, Phyllis? And then she might have said, oh my goodness, what kind of vacations do you take? So now you know that's something that interests her. You stay focused in on that. And you only have to focus on the things that she's interested in, because if she doesn't want to go on vacation, you're not going to waste time on their interview talking about it. That's not something that's going to be impactful to her. So, you know, all these great things about our business, an overview of the host plan, an overview of the overall comp plan. And again, just what I was saying here, what's most important to you? You can stay focused in on what they actually ask for. So this is what's good about providing this brochure ahead of time to somebody who's interested in the business. One of the reasons they did update this brochure is because of the new kit options. So if somehow you missed that memo or you missed my live where we talked about this, we still have the $99 kit, the $229 kit, and we have what they're now calling the Boss Kit, which is a version of the artist formerly known as the Presidential Kit. However, unlike before, the Presidential Kit, now the Boss Kit, notice that it's less money. There is no, there's no sales. Remember how the Presidential Kit used to count towards sales? That is no longer the case.
Oh.
So just be aware of that. Okay, so those new options are here. Okay, so what we are here to talk about is our comp plan and how you can use it to your advantage to make more money. Okay, so many of you are stylists. Okay, so fashion stylists, you earn 30, and the reason it says 30 to 32% commission is that when you sell 5,000, you bump up to 32%. But you get 30% commission, which means that when you do, and we talk about this right on the welcome call, right? When you do a $600 show, you are net show, you are going to receive a $180 paycheck. I will tell you that I had to promote 2 or 3 times at my old company to earn 30%. And that is what we start at here. That's pretty amazing. And there's definitely people out there in other businesses that are having that same experience. And will be very impressed with these starting numbers. So that means you can do $1,000 net show. That's a $300 check. Now, I don't know how many of you, you know, like when you think about, some of you are doing in-person shows. Some of you are doing online shows. Some of you are doing a little of both. I would say that since March 2020, the vast majority of our business has been online. And you're getting this $180, this $200, this $300 check from the same chair you're sitting in right now. I think that is absolutely amazing and something to be super impressed with and something to share with others, because the holidays are coming and lots of people would love the opportunity that we have to earn such a fantastic income right from their home. And of course, if you are wanting and ready and people around you are wanting and ready, go right ahead inside those homes and show that jewelry, because the people that are back to doing that are having a wonderful time with it. Some areas are back to doing their outdoor vendor events. So that's a good way to get in front of people in real life. Even if what they book is an online party, you met them in person, they saw the jewelry in person. So it's certainly a great way to continue to meet people. Now, let's talk about building, because when you move to branch director, now branch director is simply having one career recruit. That means that you have one person join your team, and it's really a 2-step process. Step 1 is that you need to have a month that you sold $1,000 net and non. That's one of many reasons. It's really the biggest reason why we want people's launch parties going in at 1,000. Because then we know as the leader we know that they're ready to promote to branch. It's only a matter of finding that recruit. So we love for launch parties to go in at 1,000. So then to promote to branch, it just needs to be that you have someone join your team that sells 1,000 in their first 5 weeks. But of course, we really try to not make it be 5 weeks. We try to make it be at the launch, same as yours was. And then you, of course, have to be active in that month with $300 in sales. So if your 1,000 was a previous month or something, you obviously can't promote if you don't have any sales in. So you need to be active in the month that your person does their 1,000 or qualifies or whatever. And then bam, you move up to branch director. So branches bump up to 35% personal commission. That's the biggest part of the branch director raise. Okay, because see how there is this weekly team override here? That means that, for the first $100 to $399, you earn 5%. For the next $400 to $799, you make 6%, etc. It's kind of hard to figure out, and just really understand that the best part of the branch director raise is the bump in the full 5% of your personal commission. So to give you just a couple of like real life examples here throughout this lunch and learn today, we have a branch on our team that in her first month as a stylist, she sold 2,119. I think she did, that was in 2 or 3 parties. Okay, so when she was a branch, when she was her first month as a stylist, she sold 2,119 net. So her paycheck, her first month, was $635. That's pretty awesome, right? Do you feel like as a brand new person making $635 for doing 2 or 3 online parties was probably exciting for her, exciting for her family? We do think that her spouse was pleased that she brought in $635. I would say yes to all of that personally. Now, because she did 3 shows right out of the gate and had her leader working closely with her, she actually promoted to branch in her second month. This is somebody on our team. Okay, so on her second month, she promoted to branch, so therefore was entitled to that 5% raise. She had very similar sales month 2 to month 1, right in the vicinity of that $2,200, $2,300. So that means that her check that month on her personal sales jumped up to $822. $822 just the very next month by just doing the same thing essentially that she did the month before. That's like doing a whole extra show, right? Without having to do a whole extra show. So that is really impressive. Now, in addition, she actually didn't only recruit 1, she actually did recruit 2 in that month, which means that not only did she promote to branch, but she had 1 step of the 3 additional that she needed to get to area at the same time. So month 2, just so that you know, this is her second month in business, her team sales were $1,481 net. Now that's just her team. Now, considering she sold about 2,300 to promote to area, its team sales and personal combined of 5,000, she was already there, almost all the way there with just her 3. So very doable, very on track to move on to area. So how many of you are branches and listening to this and saying, oh my gosh, why am I not doing that? Why am I not getting to this jump? Because look at what an area gets. Now, to get to area, you need to have, what an area receives. Well, all right, no, let's say this first. To get to area, you have where you recruited 1 person to get you to branch. Okay. Now, you need 3 additional people to join your team. At least one of them has to be recruited by you. It's totally okay if you recruit all 3 of them, but it's actually better and easier when you recruit one or 2 of them, and then one of your team members recruits one of the others. It can totally be someone included in that 3, can be somebody that your original person that got you to branch recruited. Anybody on the team can provide the other 2. You just have to do at least one of them. Okay. And then you need all 3 of those people to be qualified. So if you have somebody that qualified the month before, and then the month that you're promoting, they just only sold 300, that's okay. They are qualified and they are active. Okay. They don't have to all qualify in the same month. It can take place over, however much, although it's easier when you do them at the same time. So look at what an area leader receives. 40% personal commission. Now look at the other big jump. You get 10% on your stylists instead of that weird graduated override, and 6% on anyone that's a branch and the people under them. That is a big raise, because let's take a look at the jump in pay. That's a 40%, that's another 5% personal, and an absolutely humongous jump on the team. So the example on our team that we can now look at, we had a branch in January that sold 2,358 net personal. Okay. So that's an $825 check. Okay, so you sold 2,358. That means that the personal sales part of her check were $825. In February, she promoted to area. She sold 3,635 because, again, she had some momentum from the month before. So she sold a little bit more than she did the month before. That means that her check was 1,450 between the little bit of the increase in the personal sales and the extra 5%. Her team net without her sold 5,146 at 10%, because they were all fashion directors, because she recruited all of them. $514 just on them. That meant that her check was $1,964. How much was her check the month before as a branch? $825. That's officially double. Double. So what did you earn last month, branches? Would you like to earn twice as much this month? Because that's what this person did, doubled her paycheck in a month's time, from 800 to 1,900. That's actually, I'm sorry, that's actually more than double. Okay, so it's one of the best raises. It's one of the most noticeable raises, and it's an amazing place to be. Now, let's take a look at area to division. Now, divisions, in order to get to division, it's a 2-month promotion. So as you can see here, it's $20,000 in personal and team net over 2 consecutive months. So you can have a month where you do 12,000 and the next month you do 18,000. You can have a month where you do 16 and the next month is 14, whatever the case may be, 20,000 added up over 2 months. And then you need 4 active branches or areas. Now, an active branch means that the person became a branch and is still with you selling. It doesn't mean that the person, that the branch and the person under the branch still have to be selling. Of course, it's better if they are, because they're helping you with that volume. But if that person is gone, doesn't take away the branch's title, right? So as long as that person sells at least 300, they count as an active branch towards your promotion. All right, now let's take a look at what a division leader now receives. They go up to 45% personal commission. We're now a full 15% above where we started. Okay. Look at the jump in the overrides, 15% on your fashion stylists, 8% on your branches and their team, 3% on areas that you have and their teams. So let's just start with that. So last month, we had a division that sold 7,318. At 45%, that check alone is $3,293, $3,200. Now, you're saying, oh, but that's a lot more than the numbers we were talking about before. Yeah, because as you move up, you get better at the job, right? As you are moving along month to month to month, you're doing more shows. When you do more shows, you get better at it. You have more people to contact. You're building a customer base. So people that told you no when they attended the show and didn't want to show, 2 months later, when you check back on them and their jewelry, they're like, actually, I do want to have a show. I really do love my stuff. When we did the Oktoberfest, I had a host who hasn't hosted with me in about 2 years. She come back around and attend the Oktoberfest. She placed a very large order, but didn't want to book, even though I had the full conversation. Holidays are coming. Why don't we do November? No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. And of course, in my head, I said to myself, we'll see. She hasn't gotten new jewelry in a while. And I knew that she would have a whole new fall in love affair when her order came. And I was fully planning on following back up with her when she received it. But guess what? I didn't even have to wait that long. She messaged me on Sunday out of the blue. Okay, Michelle, I do love my jewelry. There's so many things still on my list. Do you have November 14th or 21st? I mean, it's like she jumped onto my calendar. So that's what happens as you're here a while. You build a customer base and you're going to get more shows like that. So the other thing is that as you grow in leadership, you have more educational opportunities. The leaders do a networking call every single Thursday where we share what's working. We do turn that around to you, but when you're there hearing it firsthand, when you're there contributing, when you're there to ask the questions from the original leader, it's just another great opportunity. We have other trainings that we do with Mary Grace. There's all kinds of additional opportunities that make you better at your job. So of course your sales go up as your skills improve. So not to mention, isn't your motivation also a little higher when you're making 45%? You're like, I'm going to go do another show. I'm going to make another $400, $500. So that's of course going to have a factor as well. So this division, to go back to those numbers, she sold 7,318. At 45%, that's a paycheck of $3,293. Her team sold 12,073 net.
I'm on lunch and learn. I say, I know he's going to call me when I'm in my business meeting. Oh, sorry.
So that is the overall team. Now look at what divisions earn: 15% on stylists, 8% on branches, 3% on areas. So because I don't know 100% the breakdown of the team at that time, let's call it an average of 10%. Okay. So if you average together those percentages on that 12,000 that the team sold, that's $1,200 additional dollars. Does that sound good? Another $1,200. Okay, so now that's if you're jotting things down, that's 3,293 on the personal sales. That's $1,200 on the team. So far, she's up to a $4,500 check. Now, divisions get additional extras. Do you see this that areas do not get? A $500 monthly recruiting bonus when they have 10 personal and team qualified recruits. Now that's without any areas. And a $500 monthly sales bonus. When your team has 10,000 nets as a division, you get an extra $500 on her check. Now we said she had 12,000, right? That's another $500 added to her check. So now her check is up to $500. Now, there's another source of bonus on here, not reflected on here, but what is it that she probably also has? She definitely has.
Mercedes.
Correct. Somebody who has this level of recruiting and sales over that 2 and 3 month period has earned the Mercedes, which is the case here. So in addition to the $500 monthly sales bonus, she also got, because she didn't actually take the Mercedes, she gets the cash, which is the $500 bonus. So that means that that's actually a paycheck of $5,500. Pretty amazing, right? Does anyone want to do 5,500 times 12? What is that? What if that was about what she did every month? How much is that person earning yearly?
About 60,000, almost 70.
$60,000. This person has a full-time job, which means that the 60,000 is on top of whatever she earns at her job. And it also means that if she can do this at her full-time job, probably so can many of you. So remember, this person started as a stylist. Now, even if we wanted to go all the way back and say, wow, what if she just did the 7,300 that she sold at the 30%? That's still a $2,000 paycheck. And I would never say, don't do that, right? I mean, that's amazing. A $2,000 paycheck on $7,300 in sales for someone that does not want to build a team, does not want to do anything but sell. Of course, that's your option. If that's what you want to do, go for it. My job as your leader is to show you what's possible and inspire you to do so. And that's what I want to show you here, that if Park Lane is willing to put this entire robust comp plan together and pay you all of these bonuses, why wouldn't you want to take advantage of them? Park Lane is one of the only direct sellers that will pay you infinitely deep on your team. Almost every single direct sales company, if not every, has a very deluxe set of rules about legs and patterns, and you have to have this number across and this number down. And if you don't have this pattern, you're going to demote to a level that you only get paid 3 deep and whatever. That's what I had at my old company. And there was large factions of my team that came to my home for trainings, that I worked with one-on-one to earn trips, etc., that I earned $0 on because of not having this proper pattern. And even with the proper pattern, you were going to drop out people. Once you got past 4 lines down, they weren't paying you anymore. It doesn't matter. Here, they pay you on every single person. Every single person. So Phyllis can continue to recruit and her team can continue to recruit, and it can be 15 people down, 20 people down, 100 people down. Those people show up on her check on Friday. You just are not finding that everywhere. So if they're willing to do it, be willing to take it, be willing to earn it, right? So we were up to $5,500 for that division in that particular month. Now, if you take a look at where you go next, 60,000 over 2 consecutive months. And again, it can be 40-20, it can be 30-30, it can be 15-45, whatever layout it is. If you add up to $60,000 over a 2-month period, and you have 8 active branches and areas, you promote to senior division. Senior divisions pick up 2 additional things, because it's still the 45% commission, but see how here it's 45 to 50. So here's big bonus number 1 at senior division. When you have 1 personal recruit in a month, you get another 5% of your personal sales as a bonus on your first check the next month. So Phyllis, what was your total? 8,000 something last month?
8,000 something,
Okay,
about
so,
8,500. It was pretty close to 9. It was over 85.
okay, so
8,000.
let's say net, it was maybe 78.
Yes, something like that.
So 7,800 Phyllis sold last month. She already earned 45% of that, right? 45%. So just on her personal sales, Phyllis is earning on tomorrow, at the end of this week's check tomorrow, $3,510 on Phyllis, on the way to Phyllis on Friday with that email. But on the first paycheck of November, this week, sorry, she earned that last week, 3510, just in her personal sales. But this week we get that 5% bonus, 7,800 plus times 5% more. Phyllis is getting another close to $400 on this week's check. $400 is a lot of money, you guys.
Mhm.
She already did the work. It's just now coming in as a bonus. So that's big bonus number one. Big bonus number two is her weekly team sales bonus. So all senior divisions receive a weekly bonus based on team sales. So if your team sells 2,500 or more, you get a $100 bonus. If they sell over 5,000, it goes to a $200 bonus, 7,500, $300 bonus. And it maxes out at 12,500, which gets you a $500 bonus. Phyllis, you've probably received every bonus on this list, right?
I have. Yep, I
Jennifer,
have at some
you've
point.
received every bonus on this list, right?
Yes.
Scam.
Yes.
So Joy Perry has received bonuses on this list. These are our senior divisions, right? Now,
Yeah.
there's a recruiting bonus as well that you can track, another 500 plus that same $500 bonus that the divisions get. It's just at 15,000 instead of 10,000, which of course makes sense because you have a bigger team.
Yeah.
Now, when you move to sales vice president, what you'll see here is an expansion of the weekly bonus, because see how here at senior division at 12,500, you max out that bonus.
Yes.
So if your team sells 15,000, 20,000, you're still getting 500.
Yeah.
Which is why when that's happening regularly, it's time to be starting to track that sales VP bonus, because see how here, look at hit 20,000, you can go up to, when you're selling 30,000, you're getting a $600 bonus, 35, 40, 45, 50, you're at $1,000 bonus. These are real numbers. This is what we were doing when we were getting ready to promote to company VP. These were the types of bonuses that were showing up on my check at that point.
Yeah.
So you want to go to a place that you can start maxing out. So that's to keep in mind as well. If you're a brand new division, maybe what you're really not necessarily saying, how do I get to senior division? What you're saying as a brand new division is, how can I max out my comp plan? What are all of the things that I can earn? I can earn 500 in making sure we have 10,000. I can make 500 making sure we have 10 team recruits. And I can make 500 making sure I earn my Mercedes every month. That's $1,500 extra dollars. When you're doing that all the time, you will naturally be ready to start promoting to senior division, and then so on and so forth through sales VP and more. So we have, people on our team. So Jennifer, you're here right in the screen, and I come to you whenever we talk about this. Jen started as a fashion director and is now a senior division. She was not assigned. She was not any of that. She came here with no experience and has moved all the way up to senior division. Jen, what are some of the highlights as you were going through where you were like, wow, look at this extra on my check and things like that? Like, what are some of the ones that you were like, oh my gosh?
Yeah, I loved my area promotion. That was one of my favorites because that was one where you really start seeing the overrides and your personal sales. Like Michelle said, you're getting better at the job. And so that's when I was like, oh my goodness, this is real money. Like we can really start making progress. For me, that is when I was in area, I finished paying off my student loans. And so I was able to make those forward progresses financially. That's why I started Park Lane. And so that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love the area promotion. But then as I continued to build and to promote, I was able to adjust those goals and think bigger because I was able to see that, wow, the possibilities here are really endless. And so I can dream bigger of saying, you know what, like, let me use this money to take my family on a Disney vacation. Let me use this money to, pay off a credit card, pay off our car. Like when you see the money start to come in, you can reevaluate your goals and your visions because the infinite possibilities are available to each and every one of you. Because I can say that I've sat exactly where each and every one of you are at the positions of starting from ground zero and building all the way up, continuing to build.
Love it. And, we have we have others certainly that have moved up through many other levels. So like under Jen, also on the call here is Denise. Denise started with no experience. So she went from fashion director to branch, from branch to area, and is a Mercedes achiever. So now what Denise, I don't mean to like project onto, but Denise should be, for lack of a better word, right, be tracking to earn her Mercedes every month if she wants to max out what she can do as an area. So Jen, even though Denise is actually, under Jessica, under Laura, who's under Jessica, etc. But, that's something that Jen as the upline, or Jessica or Laura, could be working on with Denise. Is she under Laura or just under Jessica? Just under Jessica? Okay. Yeah. So Jessica or Jen or me could be working on with her, right? So that she's seeing that extra $500 every month. Bianca's a new branch. Bianca could be starting to track that every single month, with Phyllis every month, and have an accountability partner like Amanda and Bianca. They kind of became accountability partners because they promoted together. So now they can work on tracking that together as friends and colleagues, but running it by, like, keeping in touch and watching it through with Phyllis and myself, right? So these are the types of things that we can do. And I'm so glad that Jen mentioned about changing the goal, right? Because again, for the 4 millionth time, my original goal was to pay the Cobra. God knows I'm way past that now. In 21 years, if I only made $600, Anthony would be like, what's happening here? And so would I, because I've changed the goal infinite amount of times in 21 years, right? Whereas that doesn't mean it's any less important than someone else's $600 goal, because if your goal is that $600 and that's what you're doing, we're so happy for it. But if after bringing in that $600, you're like, actually, if I bump it to 1,000, not only would I be able to pay the Cobra, but I can put my daughter in competitive dance. Well, then let's do that. How can we do that? Let's build a team. Let's do one more show a month, and you'll be meeting more people, right? So there's just so many wonderful examples of people moving up through the ranks. Now, a lot of what I shared was Gretchen's numbers, who, came in and moved up pretty quickly, very quickly, because she will say it over and over again. I know she's at work right now, but she watches replays. She did what Sylvia told her to do. Sylvia told her to do, 6 shows a month. She booked 6 shows a month. She said to share it with every hostess. She shared it with every hostess. And Gretchen is now a division and is tracking all the time for her Mercedes and is working towards maxing out division comp plan so she can move into senior division, which is exactly what, then the leaders all do. So all of this is trackable. All of this is doable, but only when we know what you want. And then you have that meeting with your leader. And when she or he says to you, okay, so in order to do that, the plan would be XYZ, You have to actually go do those things, right? Because if you say what you want and we help you make the plan, but then the daily actions don't take place, then the monthly actions don't take place. Because what happens then is that you get to the last week of the month and you're either like, oh my God, I have to do 20, I have to sell $7,000 this week in order to get it done. Or you say, I didn't really want it that much anyway. But don't change the goal, increase your action so that you can meet the goal, right? Because it's never a failure. It's just a learning procedure, right? So you say, okay, I learned that I didn't do what I was supposed to do, and I'm not going to let that happen again. So this time I'll do it. And then you can act differently the next month. But that's what's available to you here at Park Lane and how you can have exponential growth. You can have a comma in your paycheck every single week. You can get to that. In front of the comma is 2 numbers in a week. That is all real things that occur, not just in Park Lane in general, but on this team. Because as you move up, there are quarterly bonuses, there are yearly bonuses, there's all more, this, continued more as well. So that is all of the things that you can earn with the comp plan at Park Lane when you know what it is and when you take action to earn it.